Hi guys, don't know what that was. I've done that about 5 times because I've royally messed up this video, and this was a video that I did not want to mess up because I wanted this to be a run of 3 special videos because, well, you'll see why. I'll end up gushing like I always do in these sorts of videos. But today's beer is from these guys, Pirate Brew Berlin, Christipa and Andreas, who I met at the Regensburg Craft Beer Festival 2017, which was last week. And yeah, it was such a rewarding experience. I mean, it was great that I was given press, like access to try all the beers that I wanted for free and stuff like that. But it was so great to actually get to talk to people who I've known through Facebook and stuff like that, people who I've talked to in the past and got to know, who I've like met in Beretta and I've met through YouTube and that sort of stuff. So that for me is probably the most rewarding part of what I do here on YouTube, because if you've ever met me in person, I can be a little bit shy, and YouTube has really helped me to like grow inside. So getting a little bit deep there, Peter. That's what she said. Yeah, this is like take 6 of this video, so I'm a hot sticky mess because it's the 1st of June. It's been something of a long day, and I think I might be suffering from some slight heat stroke, so I'm not exactly in the best shape or form to be doing beer reviews, but I'm doing it anyway. So, Pirate Brew Berlin, who I think I've been brewing since 2015 on a sort of commercial level. I'm going to put all of their links down below. And I think they're very community driven, which I really like. Working with not only different breweries but also like coffee houses and chili people and stuff like that. I just love the like, let's all get together, let's make something awesome, and you get that passion when you talk to them. Really was such a rewarding experience for me personally, and I hope that's not the last time. I hope to bump into those guys plenty more times, and I need to make my way up to Berlin. How many times am I going to gush on camera about what I'm seeing happening in Berlin? Anyway, so today's beer, already in the glass, still got some left in the bottle, so I haven't drank too much, but yeah, we're looking at the Pirate Porter, which is prototype number 1. I can't remember much about our conversation that we had last week because it's been a week and I've got the memory of the fish, but also because I've drank a considerable amount of alcohol since then, which I really didn't want to, but I ended up doing anyway. And I've got the weekend to myself, so there's probably going to be a considerate amount of alcohol being consumed. Yeah, I definitely need to take a little bit time off from reviewing beers at some point. But yeah, the Pirate Porter, clocking in at 5.6%. Ingredients are barley malts, wheat malts, dinkel malts, or dinkel malts. I can't remember what dinkel is in English, can't remember what grain that is. Hops and yeast. And this was brewed and bottled at Vormann-Brauerei. I've probably got that wrong because it is little writing. I will put their links down below as well. Best before date is the 1st of the 2nd, 2018. And yeah, in a lovely 330ml bottle. And speaking of which, look at that artwork. I don't know how well you can see that. Hopefully you'll be able to see it better on the thumbnail. But yeah, fantastic stuff. This comes courtesy of a street artist in Valencia called Deih, or Deih, something along those lines. Again, probably completely butchered that. pronunciation, but the links are down below because I love to promote the artists behind the labels, especially when they're so awesome like that. If it stands out, if there's time and effort gone into it, 9 times out of 10 the stuff inside is something that the brewers are proud of and they want to showcase it. So yeah, very pretty looking bottle indeed. And then on the back you've got the Pirate Brew Berlin logo, which is just as good. I love it as well. And yeah, so let's pour the rest of the beer into the glass then and see if we can salvage a coherent review. So just a little bit left in. We'll see what we get when we pour it all in. Sounds like I'm talking to myself when I talk like that. Oh, and by the way, it was just a plain black Crown. So, beer in the glass then, and that looks like a lovely cup of coffee. Lovely pale khaki sort of foamy head there. Not really like an espresso or anything like that, but yeah, the body itself of the beer, a really nice intense brown, almost like an oaky colour. Don't think it's jet black because you can see in this like stuff coming through, and maybe even some slight ruby hues held up to direct light, but that head just seems to have settled perfectly. Looks like a black coffee, doesn't it? So let's see what we get on the aroma then. And that roasted malt collection is just star of the show. There's a lovely gentle woodiness to it as well. Not really smoky, but it's got that like slight char almost. There's like a mixture of a milk chocolate, like a dairy milk or a Milka, but then you also get a lovely darker chocolate, but not too intense, more like a cocoa powder. Very subtle, slight coffee notes coming from that roastiness. And there is like a berry-like sweetness, almost like a rum-soaked raisin kind of character. And one thing that I really like is it's almost got like a barrel-aged aroma to it. There's like a slight aroma of a barrel, which is absolutely wonderful. It smells really, really damn good. One of those beers that you could just smell all day. It really, really is. Yeah, I mean, we'll be talking about coffee in probably the next Pirate Brew review because, hey ho, it's a coffee pirate porter. But I love that when you walk past a barista's or a really nice artisanal coffee shop, I love the aroma of coffee coming out of there. And you get that slightly, and there's like slight spiced cakey notes as well. A lot going on actually. Really, really nice. So we shall finally get on with the tasting. Cheers guys. Cheers to Andreas and Christipa. And yeah, to everyone at the Regensburg Craft Beer Festival. Cheers. Disclaimer. Some of you may know I am not the biggest fan of porters. I gravitate more towards the stouts because I find they've got a little bit more bulk to them and a little bit more character. That being said, I have been trying a lot of high quality porters recently. Of course, yeah, the ones up there like the Omnipollo Lorelei, the Imperial Maple Coconut Porter, that's like a completely different animal. Yeah, that's like Imperial strength, that's big, it's brash, it's big desserty beers. And I've really started to appreciate the more like subtle and regular porters. But this one, this is a lovely porter. And this is one of those ones where if you're not a fan of the style, have something like this and you'll be like, ooh, oh, that's very nice. It's like nuttiness there. It's like smokiness as well, which I really, really like. Those roasted malts are just absolutely to die for in this beer, both in the aroma and the flavour. It's just lovely and subtle. Such a well balanced but robust tasting beer. That, like, again, that barrel character is coming through, and I don't know what that would be coming from, but it just adds a lovely little edge and character to the beer. Definitely get a chocolate sort of flavour in there. Very nice and subtle, I'd say around the 50 to 60% cocoa sort of chocolate. But then there's a lovely like milk chocolate sweetness in there as well. You do get slight berry tones, and what I like is the hop character mixes with that like coffee-esque flavour on the back end, so you get a lovely warm bitterness. Not like warm in terms of alcohol going down, it's just one of those beers that you could just get so cozy with. And yeah, this is it's a lovely porter. It really is. It's just every mouthful so nice. It's got a medium mouthfeel to it, but it's got a sense of smoothness and velvetiness to it, which just helps it go down that little bit more. And yeah, it's a lovely porter indeed. So in terms of a rating then on this almost, well, it's probably going to be past 12-minute video, I'm going to give this one a very solid and commendable 8 out of 10. I would give it higher, but because I was at the festival and I tried the next 2 beers already that I will be reviewing, which they take this porter and then they play around with it. And, you know, for a base porter, it works on its own merits, but there's enough characteristics in there for it to be manipulated and toyed around with, and you can experiment with it. I think they're doing a lot of experimental stuff with porters, if I was reading that correctly on Facebook. So there's a lot there. I mean, I'm getting like a nuttiness now as I'm talking. You can play around with this beer so much and create something, you know, even more special. And these 2 beers right here, ladies and gentlemen, oh, I cannot wait to get these reviewed on camera. I just cannot wait. So a massive thank you to Christipa and Andreas for not only giving me these beers to try on camera, but also for their generosity, their time, the conversation that I had. I had great insight into the brewery, into their philosophy, into what they're doing, into the what they think about the scene in Berlin and that sort of stuff. It was really great to just talk about beer, and yeah, the whole festival was a great experience. So that is the first of 3 Pirate Brew Berlin reviews that you will be seeing over the next few days. I hope you'll join me for the other 2. All the usual reference links are down below, as well as links to Pirate Brew Berlin, my Regensburg Craft Beer Festival video. I highly recommend you guys go check that one out. Of course, the brewery that actually brewed and bottled this, and of course to Deih, who did the fantastic artwork. So loads of stuff for you to check out down below. Check out my porter playlist as well for some more cracking porters. And yeah, I hope you'll join me next time for another beer review. So thank you to all involved in this beer and to the great time I had last week. And I'll be saying this same stuff in the next 2 videos. So yeah, cheers guys. Prost.